Could the ebb and flow of human history, with all its chaotic turns and monumental shifts, be part of a grander, meticulously orchestrated design? In the shadowed annals of ancient Babylon, amidst the gilded tyranny of Nebuchadnezzar's sprawling court, a man of unwavering faith, Daniel, was granted visions that transcended the very boundaries of time. These were not mere dreams or fleeting prophecies, but sacred revelations, a hidden blueprint for the unfolding of human destiny, etched into the fabric of eternity itself. Our journey begins by unearthing this profound enigma, a divine narrative that speaks of empires rising and falling, of human ambition clashing with cosmic will, and of a sovereign hand guiding the currents of history towards an ultimate, predetermined end. It is a story whispered through millennia, yet its final chapters, we shall find, remain startlingly relevant to our present moment. Imagine the sprawling, sun-baked landscape of ancient Mesopotamia, where the ziggurats of Babylon pierced the azure sky, monuments to earthly power and human hubris. Here, in the crucible of the Babylonian exile, a people far from their sacred homeland clung to their faith, their hopes tethered to whispers of divine intervention. Daniel, a captive in this foreign land, stood as a beacon of spiritual resilience, a man whose quiet devotion opened him to extraordinary insights. He walked through halls adorned with the spoils of conquered nations, yet his spirit soared beyond the earthly dominion of kings, into realms where the very future of humanity was being unveiled. This sacred landscape, both oppressive and awe-inspiring, became the canvas upon which God's eternal plan would be painted, a testament to His omnipresence even in times of profound despair. This was no vague oracle, no ambiguous riddle, but a meticulously detailed divine blueprint for the ages. Daniel's visions laid bare the succession of world empires, each depicted with vivid, potent symbolism, culminating in a final, unprecedented dominion that would reshape the very foundations of existence. The central mystery we now embark upon is the precise nature of this ultimate kingdom, and the signs that suggest its imminent arrival, offering a profound revelation about God's sovereign control over the rise and fall of nations. It is a journey into sacred knowledge, inviting us to look beyond the surface of historical events and discern the spiritual currents that have always, and continue to, shape our world, offering clarity and reverence in equal measure. From the colossal statue composed of diverse metals, to the terrifying beasts emerging from the deep, each symbolic element within Daniel's sacred writings speaks of epochs vividly painted: the Babylonian, the Persian, the Hellenistic, and the Roman empires. Yet beyond these historical progressions lies a deeper, more profound spiritual truth about the nature of earthly authority versus heavenly dominion. As candlelight flickers across ancient manuscripts, revealing these echoes of prophecy, we are drawn into a narrative that culminates not merely in human succession, but in the cataclysmic intervention of the Ancient of Days. This journey challenges us to confront humanity's relentless ambition for power and control, often in defiant opposition to divine will, and to prepare for a revelation that promises to reshape not just our understanding of history, but the very trajectory of our souls. From the profound revelations granted to Daniel in Babylon, we are beckoned back through the mists of time to the very wellsprings of this divine narrative. The roots of this mystery are not confined to Nebuchadnezzar's opulent court, but stretch deep into the spiritual soil of ancient Israel, and even further, touching the enigmatic wisdom traditions of Egypt. Long before Daniel, a covenant was forged with Abraham, a promise whispered under starlit desert skies, speaking of a lineage through whom all nations would be blessed. This singular spiritual heritage, preserved amidst a world teeming with pagan deities and polytheistic rites, formed a unique conduit for divine truth. Imagine the flickering oil lamps illuminating sacred scrolls, the echoes of prophets resounding through arid landscapes. As a people, against all odds, maintained a steadfast belief in one sovereign God, preparing the ground for the profound insights that would later be unveiled. The spiritual tapestry of the ancient Near East was rich and complex, a vibrant clash of worldviews. While Israel clung to its monotheistic faith, Babylon, with its towering ziggurats and sophisticated astronomical observatories, represented an apex of earthly power and a deep fascination with cosmic forces, albeit often distorted through astrological divination. In this crucible, Daniel stood as an anomaly, a prophet steeped in the true God, yet operating within a system that sought answers from the stars and myriad gods. His ability to discern divine truths, where Babylon's own wise men failed, underscored a fundamental distinction. It was not human wisdom, however advanced, that could unlock the secrets of time, but a direct revelation from the Ancient of Days, piercing through the veil of earthly understanding, demonstrating the supremacy of divine knowledge over all human conjecture. Even before Babylon, the shadow of Egypt loomed large in Israel's collective memory, not only as a land of bondage, but also as a cradle of ancient wisdom, where dream interpretation held profound significance. The story of Joseph, centuries before Daniel, showcased a similar divine gift amidst a powerful, yet spiritually veiled, empire. The pyramids, monuments to eternal life, and the hieroglyphs, guardians of sacred knowledge, speak of humanity's ancient yearning to transcend mortality and grasp the divine. These early encounters, where God's chosen servants interpreted profound visions for pharaohs, prepared the ground, culturally and spiritually, for a world that, despite its paganism, recognized the potential for divine communication through dreams and prophecy, setting a precedent for Daniel's future revelations. As the opulent halls of Babylon faded into history, giving way to the sprawling dominion of Persia, Daniel's visions continued to unfold with astonishing precision. The rise of Cyrus the Great, and his unexpected decree allowing the exiled Jews to return to their homeland, was itself a fulfillment of prophecy, foretold even before his birth. This shift in empires was not merely a political transition, but a meticulously orchestrated act within God's grand design, demonstrating that even the hearts of pagan kings are in his hand. The vastness of the Persian Empire, stretching from India to Greece, represented a new epoch of human power, yet it too was but a stage upon which the divine narrative continued to advance, a testament to the sovereign hand guiding human destiny. Then came the swift, conquering force of the Hellenistic era, spearheaded by the meteoric rise of Alexander the Great. His campaigns, spanning vast continents in an incredibly short span, were a vivid manifestation of the leopard with 4 wings and the goat with a prominent horn in Daniel's visions, symbols of unprecedented speed and power. The subsequent fragmentation of his empire into 4 distinct kingdoms, each ruled by one of his generals, was not a chaotic accident of history, but a precise fulfillment of prophecy, further cementing the divine blueprint's incredible specificity. This revelation underscores that Daniel's foretellings were not vague predictions, but an intricate unveiling of future events, challenging us to look beyond the surface of historical figures and discern the divine hand meticulously shaping their rise and fall. Following the Hellenistic era, the world witnessed the inexorable rise of Rome, the iron legs of Daniel's colossal statue, an empire whose strength and organizational prowess were unparalleled. Its legions marched across continents, forging an empire built on law, order, and an unyielding will. Yet even this seemingly invincible power carried within it the seeds of its own eventual fragmentation, depicted in Daniel's vision as feet of iron mixed with clay, signifying both strength and inherent weakness. Rome's vastness and enduring influence would cast a long shadow over subsequent millennia, a testament to human ambition's zenith, yet its very existence was also a profound foreshadowing, a final earthly power against which a transcendent, eternal kingdom would ultimately be established. Indeed, the spiritual undercurrents beneath Rome's iron grip were profound, setting the stage for the most pivotal moment in human history. The Pax Romana, the period of relative peace and stability enforced by Roman power, inadvertently created the conditions necessary for the spread of a radical new spiritual kingdom, one not built on conquest or earthly might. It was within this very empire that the stone cut without hands would first make its appearance, not as a political force, but as a spiritual movement that would eventually shatter the foundations of all earthly dominion. This dramatic tension between the absolute power of Rome and the nascent, seemingly insignificant, spiritual dominion of Christ's kingdom offers a profound reflection on the nature of true power and its ultimate source. As we weave together these threads of ancient civilizations, from the covenants of Israel and the enigmatic wisdom of Egypt, through the empires of Babylon, Persia, and Greece, to the formidable dominion of Rome, a singular, unified narrative emerges. Daniel's visions were not isolated prophecies, but part of an ongoing, continuous divine revelation, stretching from the dawn of humanity to its ultimate climax. Each empire, each historical epoch, serves as a vital chapter in God's meticulously planned story, all pointing towards a predetermined end. This journey into the origins of the hidden truth reveals a master architect at work, shaping the currents of history with unwavering precision, inviting us to discern the eternal hand that continues to guide our world towards its ultimate, transcendent purpose. The Roman Empire, with its unparalleled might, indeed dominated the ancient world, yet Daniel's vision spoke of a profound irony. Within its very strength lay the seeds of its ultimate fragmentation. The colossal statue's feet, composed of iron mixed with brittle clay, were not merely a historical footnote, but a powerful symbol of an inherent, irreconcilable weakness. This blend represented a future where power would be divided, where unity would be sought but never fully achieved, leading to an unstable geopolitical landscape. It foretold a time when nations, though perhaps bearing the legacy of Roman law or influence, would lack the cohesive strength to forge a lasting singular dominion, reflecting humanity's persistent struggle to maintain absolute control. The prophetic imagery suggested that no earthly empire, no matter how formidable, could escape the inexorable march of divine purpose, foreshadowing a world perpetually striving for cohesion yet inherently fragmented. This mingling of iron and clay, interpreted across millennia by scholars and theologians, points directly to the fragmented European landscape that emerged from Rome's decline, and indeed to the broader global tapestry of independent nations that defines our modern era. Despite countless attempts throughout history, through alliances, conquests, and economic unions, to re-establish a singular dominant world power, the vision confirms a persistent disunity. The prophecy asserts that these nations would, quote, not cleave one to another, even as they attempt to bind themselves through intermarriage or political pacts, revealing a spiritual truth about the limits of human ambition. It underscores that true, lasting unity can never be forged by human hands alone, hinting at a coming dominion that transcends earthly politics and societal structures, one rooted in a different, divine order. And it is precisely into this era of fragmented earthly powers that Daniel's most profound revelation bursts forth, the vision of a stone, cut without hands, striking the feet of the colossal statue. This is the pivotal moment, the true unveiling of the divine blueprint that transcends all human history. This stone does not emerge from the quarries of human endeavor, nor is it shaped by mortal architects or earthly kings. Its origin is purely supernatural, signifying a kingdom entirely distinct from all that came before it. This symbolic stone represents a spiritual dominion, a sovereign rule that would not rise through military might or political maneuvering, but through an act of divine intervention, destined to grow and overcome all previous earthly powers, establishing an eternal reign. This stone cut without hands is none other than the kingdom of the Ancient of Days, a spiritual reality introduced into the world by Christ himself, first as a humble mustard seed, then growing into an expansive spiritual mountain that fills the whole earth. Its growth is not through violent conquest, but through the transformative power of truth, love, and spiritual conviction, gradually reshaping hearts and minds across generations. This kingdom, initially unseen by the eyes of power, began its quiet, inexorable expansion within the very heart of the Roman Empire, a subversive force challenging all earthly authority. It speaks to a profound truth, that true power resides not in temporal dominion, but in the eternal spiritual realm, subtly yet powerfully influencing the course of human civilization, offering a new paradigm of existence. Yet, even as this divine kingdom began its ascent, Daniel's visions unveiled another, more ominous figure that would emerge within the context of these fragmented nations: the little horn. This symbol, distinct from the great empires, speaks of a power that would rise subtly, yet exert immense spiritual and political influence, specifically targeting the saints of the Most High. It is a foretelling of a deceptive force, one that would seek to usurp divine authority, to speak, quote, great words against the Most High, and to wear out his people. The revelation of the little horn introduces a layer of tension, reminding us that the spiritual journey is not without its adversaries, and that even within the unfolding of God's grand design, there would be profound challenges to faith and truth. The characteristics attributed to this little horn, its cunning, its blasphemous claims, its ambition to change times and laws, reveal a power that operates not merely on the battlefield, but within the very fabric of spiritual and moral understanding. It signifies a force that seeks to distort divine truth, to redefine justice, and to undermine the sacred order established by the Creator. This is not just a political entity, but a spiritual antagonist, a profound perversion of authority that seeks to elevate itself above all that is called God. Its emergence serves as a stark warning against spiritual deception and the insidious ways in which earthly powers can seek to mimic or subvert divine authority, urging vigilance and discernment in every age. But Daniel's vision does not end with the triumph of this opposing force. The narrative swiftly shifts to a scene of profound divine intervention and ultimate justice, the courtroom of the Ancient of Days. Here, amidst heavenly hosts, with his garment white as snow and his hair like pure wool, judgment is seated. The books are opened, and every earthly dominion, every act of human ambition, every spiritual perversion is laid bare before the eternal judge. This majestic imagery offers a powerful counterpoint to the chaos and oppression of earthly powers, assuring us that history is not a rudderless ship, but is steered towards an ultimate reckoning. It is a moment of illumination, revealing the absolute sovereignty of God over all creation and the certainty of divine justice. And then the ultimate climax, one like the Son of Man coming with the clouds of heaven. This figure, presented before the Ancient of Days, is granted dominion, glory, and a kingdom, that all peoples, nations, and languages should serve him. This is the grand culmination of all prophecy, the establishment of an eternal kingdom that will never be destroyed, a reign of perfect justice and peace. This Son of Man speaks to the Christ of Scripture, whose return marks the full and final establishment of God's sovereign rule. It is a transcendent revelation, offering not just a glimpse of the future, but the ultimate spiritual destiny of humanity, a future where divine authority triumphs, and all earthly struggles find their final resolution in eternal peace. As we gaze upon the intricate tapestry of Daniel's visions, their resonance with our contemporary global landscape becomes undeniably striking. The persistent fragmentation of nations, the rise of powerful ideologies that challenge established truths, and the yearning for a lasting peace amidst geopolitical turbulence all echo the ancient prophecies. We find ourselves living in a world teetering on the cusp of profound change, where the signs of the times, once whispered through desert winds, now seem to reverberate with increasing clarity. This ancient message urges us to look beyond the ephemeral headlines and discern the eternal hand at work in history, challenging our perceptions of current events and inviting a deeper faith, reminding us that God's plan is meticulously unfolding even in our present moment. Thus, our journey through the hidden truths of Daniel's visions culminates not in fear, but in profound enlightenment and an abiding sense of peace. We have witnessed a divine blueprint for history, meticulously laid out, encompassing the rise and fall of empires, the clash of human ambition with cosmic will, and the ultimate triumph of a kingdom cut without hands. This sacred knowledge offers a transcendent perspective, assuring us that there is indeed a sovereign hand, guiding the currents of history towards an ultimate, predetermined end. It calls us to prepare our hearts, to embrace the spiritual dominion revealed, and to find our place within this grand cosmic drama, leaving us not just with understanding, but with a renewed sense of purpose and an unwavering hope for the future. The true significance of Daniel's divine blueprint transcends mere historical prediction. It is a profound revelation of cosmic order, a beacon of light piercing through the accumulated shadows of human history. As we reflect upon the succession of empires, from Babylon's gilded tyranny to Rome's iron grip and the meticulous unfolding of prophecy, we are invited to a deeper understanding, a purification of our perception. This sacred knowledge offers not just a chronological sequence of events, but a spiritual lens through which to view the world, renewing our sense of purpose and anchoring our souls in an eternal truth. Imagine the ancient desert, suddenly illuminated by a celestial dawn, dispelling the mists of uncertainty and revealing a path previously hidden from mortal eyes. The echoes of prophecy, once faint whispers in ancient manuscripts held by candlelight, now resonate with vivid clarity, calling us to awaken to a spiritual reality far grander than the temporal struggles that often consume our attention, and to embrace the enduring promise of divine guidance that shines through all ages. In a world often shrouded in uncertainty, where headlines speak of escalating conflict, economic instability, and profound societal divisions, Daniel's prophecies offer an extraordinary, unwavering source of hope. The very precision of his foretellings, meticulously detailing the rise and fall of empires, and culminating in the stone cut without hands, establishing an eternal kingdom, assures us that human history is not a chaotic accident, but a divinely guided narrative with a predetermined, glorious conclusion. This certainty is a powerful antidote to the creeping despair that can afflict modern hearts, reminding us that even in the darkest hours, a sovereign hand is at work, steering humanity towards its ultimate, redemptive end. It speaks profoundly to the resilience of the human spirit when tethered to divine promise, transforming apprehension into steadfast anticipation, and reminding us that the light of divine purpose will ultimately triumph over all earthly shadows, illuminating a path to lasting peace. The specter of fear, fueled by global instability, existential threats, and the perceived powerlessness of individuals against monumental forces, is a constant companion in our modern age. Yet, Daniel's visions serve as a profound spiritual anchor, dissolving this pervasive fear by revealing a meticulous divine control, a sovereign hand guiding even the most turbulent currents of history. Understanding that the little horn and the fragmented nations, with all their inherent struggles and ambitions, are but elements within a larger, divinely foreseen tapestry, provides an extraordinary sense of security, much like finding shelter in a temple during a desert storm. It allows us to view the world's chaos not as random, senseless upheaval, but as integral parts of a larger, divinely ordered plan. This perspective fosters an inner tranquility, a stillness amidst the storm, knowing that ultimately, divine justice will prevail, and no earthly power can thwart the ultimate will of the Ancient of Days. Beyond the relentless cycles of empires and the persistent failings of human ambition, the ultimate message embedded within Daniel's prophecy is one of profound, universal redemption. The coming of one like the Son of Man, presented before the Ancient of Days to establish an eternal kingdom, speaks not only of divine judgment for wickedness, but also of the glorious restoration of all things, a cosmic renewal that transcends human comprehension. It is a sacred promise that the spiritual wounds inflicted by history, the injustices endured through millennia, and humanity's deep yearning for true peace and reconciliation will find their ultimate healing in a divine reign of perfect righteousness. This vision offers a powerful spiritual pathway, guiding us towards a future where all brokenness is mended, where the divine image within humanity is fully restored, and where the echoes of ancient prophecy culminate in a glorious, redemptive climax for all creation. A fresh revelation emerges as we internalize these prophecies, their profound call to personal transformation. Daniel's visions are not merely external historical accounts. They invite each soul to a profound introspection, urging us to align our individual lives with the unfolding divine purpose. Just as ancient manuscripts, illuminated by candlelight, reveal deeper meanings with careful study, so too do these prophecies illuminate our inner landscapes. They call for a purification of heart, a renewal of spirit, so that we may become living conduits of the stone cut without hands, a part of the spiritual kingdom even now. This is the essence of true spiritual awakening, recognizing our place within this grand cosmic drama and actively participating in the divine will, allowing our own lives to shine with the light of eternal truth and grace, reflecting the coming glory. In a world saturated with noise, conflicting narratives, and ideologies that relentlessly seek to redefine truth and justice, the ancient prophecies offer an indispensable compass for spiritual discernment. The foretelling of the little horn, with its cunning, blasphemous claims and ambition to change times and laws, serves as a timeless warning against spiritual deception, urging us to remain ever vigilant. It calls for a rigorous purification of our understanding, a commitment to seeking the authentic light of divine truth amidst the shadows of human conjecture and manipulation, much like a traveler in a dark desert, seeking the clear guiding star. By understanding the patterns of spiritual antagonism revealed in Daniel, we are better equipped to navigate the moral and ethical complexities of our modern age, to recognize subtle distortions, and to stand firm in the clarity of sacred knowledge, allowing us to discern the true path from the myriad of false ones that constantly vie for our allegiance. Ultimately, Daniel's visions are a profound unveiling of the very character of God, His unwavering faithfulness across millennia, His perfect justice that judges all earthly ambition, and His enduring love that orchestrates history toward a harmonious, redemptive end. They reveal a God who is not distant or indifferent, observing from afar, but intimately involved in the affairs of humanity, meticulously guiding the currents of time with divine precision. This understanding inspires not only profound reverence, but a deep, abiding trust in His ultimate plan, much like the steadfast light of a sacred flame burning in an ancient temple. It is a testament to divine sovereignty that brings immense comfort and assurance, knowing that even amidst perceived chaos and the relentless march of earthly powers, a master architect is at work, ensuring that all prophecies will be fulfilled, and His eternal purpose will stand unshakable against the shifting tides of human history. As the echoes of these ancient prophecies settle within our consciousness, we find ourselves not merely informed, but profoundly transformed, imbued with a transcendent peace that anchors us in the eternal. The journey through Daniel's hidden truths culminates in an enlightenment that dispels fear and awakens hope, inviting us to live with a renewed sense of purpose. We are called to embrace this spiritual dominion, to become part of the stone cut without hands, radiating its light in a world that desperately yearns for clarity and peace. This is the enduring legacy of Daniel's visions, a timeless message that transcends generations, offering not just understanding of the past and future, but a profound invitation to live in the present with unwavering faith, enlightened minds, and tranquil hearts, awaiting the glorious culmination of all divine promises. As the final echoes of Daniel's visions gently recede, we are left with more than just a chronological understanding of empires. We are offered a profound invitation to introspection. This divine blueprint, etched into the fabric of time, transcends mere historical prediction, becoming a mirror reflecting our own spiritual journey. The meticulous hand of the Ancient of Days, guiding nations and shaping epochs, assures us that our individual lives, too, are woven into a tapestry of divine purpose. Imagine the quiet strength that comes from knowing that the chaos of the world is not without meaning, that even the smallest acts of faith contribute to the burgeoning spiritual mountain that fills the earth. This sacred knowledge, like a flickering oil lamp in the darkness, illuminates our path, calling us to align our hearts with the eternal, finding tranquility amidst the temporal storms. It is a call to live with intention, recognizing the divine presence in every moment, transforming daily existence into a sacred unfolding. This profound journey through ancient prophecies culminates in an overwhelming sense of awe and profound gratitude for the divine architect of all creation. The intricate precision with which Daniel's visions unfolded across millennia, from the rise of Babylon to the fragmentation of Rome and the emergence of the stone cut without hands, stands as an unshakable testament to God's sovereign control. It reveals a universe not governed by chance or chaotic happenstance, but by an intelligent, loving will whose foresight spans eternity. This revelation dissolves the anxieties that often grip human hearts, replacing them with a quiet confidence in an ultimate redemptive plan. We are left contemplating the sheer magnitude of a wisdom that can foretell the destiny of nations and guide the currents of history towards a predetermined, glorious end, inspiring a deep reverence for the Ancient of Days and His unwavering faithfulness. And so, as the final scene fades, we carry with us not just the echoes of ancient prophecies, but a transformed perception of reality, imbued with an enduring peace. The hidden truths, once veiled in symbolic language, now shine with crystalline clarity, inviting us to see beyond the ephemeral and grasp the eternal. This enlightenment empowers us to navigate the complexities of our age with discernment and hope, understanding that every challenge, Every historical twist is part of a larger, divinely orchestrated narrative. We are called to embody the spirit of that stone cut without hands, to be agents of its transformative power in our own spheres, radiating peace and truth. Let this journey leave you not with questions, but with an abiding tranquility, a profound sense of purpose, and an unshakable faith in the glorious culmination of all divine promises, as the spiritual kingdom of the Ancient of Days ultimately fills the whole earth.